Hey guys, so earlier today a friend posted about a surprise Venom clip and that it was everything that everyone thought it was going to be, and it was like a 5 second clip, and we watched the clip and it looked really, well, to me it looked disturbing and gross, but I guess that's how Venom is supposed to be, and lifelong fan of Venom's, take it away.
Yeah, so there was like a leaked 10-second clip, and I figured that probably wasn't going to come out until like the end of the week when Infinity War gets released. So, but then I was right in the middle of my workout, and it popped up in my feed saying that Sony just released it like an hour, and I just had to stop my workout immediately and go and watch this because I've literally been waiting for this movie for like 20 years. I remember being like 6 or 7 years old and asking my mom, when are they going to make a Venom movie? I got like stuff like this all over my room. I'm a total nerd. I love this character. It's finally happening, and the last time Venom showed up on the big screen was when Topher Grace played him, which was just an abomination. So we're finally going to see it. I am so excited for this. Let's watch it.
Alright, what you've been waiting for.
You should be extremely afraid. Thank you for bringing us collectively to this moment. It is a moment that so many have dreamed of claiming. History starts today.
Oh, association with Marvel, okay.
I love that ominous music.
The guy you work for is an evil person.
I don't work for him. My firm works for him. Are you gonna behave yourself tomorrow?
I told you I'm gonna do my job. I'm a reporter. I follow people that do not want to be followed. What about the allegations that you recruit the most vulnerable for tests that end up killing people?
Your time to go.
You finished, Mr. Broad.
Was that a threat? You have to learn how to hide in plain sight. I'm pretty good at it, but you suck.
I've seen her before.
Whoever you are.
I work at the Life Foundation, and I need your help.
It's got that Marvel humor
We
in
found
it.
something. We call them symbiotes. Carlton Drake believes that the union between human and symbiote is the key to our evolution.
I'm feeling really sick. I'm hearing a voice. Eddie.
Tony
Not
Todd.
real, you were just in my head.
I'm gonna need Mr. Drake's property back.
I don't know. Why would we do this? If you're gonna stay, you will only hurt bad people.
The way I see it, we can do whatever we want.
This sounds so Tony
We
Todd.
have a deal.
Are you willing to sacrifice the one thing you hold most dear? You should be extremely afraid. What the hell are you?
We are Venom.
Oh my god. Yes! Yes! Oh, this is so awesome. Oh, that looked awesome. Okay.
Wow, that was just, it looked more disturbing and high res.
Oh my god. Alright, so this is so great. So there's been a lot of speculation about like what part of the comic it's going to take it from. Because the whole thing is like, Venom doesn't really exist without Spider-Man, because Eddie Brock, in the original story, is like the rival in real life of Peter Parker. But, you know, nobody really has known, you know, so up until this point, it's been reported that Spider-Man wasn't going to be in this movie, but then you read something.
Well, yeah, because this is Sony Pictures, and it just said in association with Marvel, but while you were rinsing off, it said that it's rumored that Tom Holland will be in this movie, so we might get Tom squared. If Sony and Marvel are willing to play ball with each other, obviously they kind of were, with the whole giving Spider-Man back to Marvel Studios kind of thing. So maybe, I mean, I think they realized that if you're going to do Venom, you have to have Spider-Man, and that they should combine forces and work together. Also, Disney is buying everything left and right, so who knows what kind of deal they kind of cut, you know, to have Venom. I mean, not to have Venom, to have Spider-Man in the film.
I could see them doing it either way. I mean, the thing is, so they said in the trailer, so it is based on the Life Foundation, which is like one of the most iconic Venom storylines, which actually doesn't really involve Spider-Man hardly at all. So that actually would make sense. If they needed to not have him in it, they could do it without him. But I still think it would be cooler if Spider-Man was in it, just because, like, Spider-Man is the source of all the hatred that makes the aliens so like scary and mean and snarling looking, and so
I believe IMDb, they're usually right about the rumored appearances. However, what I didn't see was Tony Todd, which that totally sounds like Tony Todd's voice as Venom.
Great
voiceover. I didn't see him credited, but
so this I think this is really gonna please the fans. I love this. I mean, everything about it. I feel like they totally captured the vibe and the feel of the comic, like in terms of it being like really dark and just like messed up.
What a nerdific day for you.
I also like the way they wrote the dialogue, because that's exactly how it is in the comic. He has like arguments with the alien in his own head, and the alien's in like a different voice, so he kind of turns into like a schizophrenic almost. Like a really ominous, dark alien voice that's arguing with him over what to do next and kind of taking control of him. This looks exactly like all of us. This is the version of Venom that we wanted, because when Spider-Man 3 had Venom, everybody hated it, including me. It just was not...
I'm not a comic fan, so I didn't know one way or the other. I just rolled with it.
I like Topher Grace. I think he's a good actor, but casting him as Venom might be the worst casting decision in like the history of film. I just do not understand to this day why they did that. It was such a bad move. He just does not look like Eddie Brock at all. It just didn't make any sense. Tom Hardy's a great choice for Eddie Brock. It makes perfect sense.
That voice is so weird though. Like Tom Hardy, like he's kind of becoming known for having these quirky voices between this and Bane and the character in what was that movie he did with DiCaprio? The Revenant. Like, he's always got some kind of weird voice going on, I feel like. But
this is super exciting. I can't wait to see it.
I'm excited to see it.
Any other news about Venom that we know of so far?
I mean, Woody Harrelson's in it somewhere. He was in the trailer. I mean, I'm wondering now, will there be a Venom mention in Avengers if Tom Holland is indeed part of this movie in some shape or form? I mean, I just don't know. Like, it's a lot of question marks.
The only thing that, I mean, now after seeing the trailer, there's actually part of me that kind of hopes that he's not in it, and the only reason why is because, like, first of all, this is the only storyline that I think that they could do plausibly without Spider-Man being involved at all, because it really has nothing to do with Spider-Man, like what happens in this story.
I mean, well, Spider-Man is still in high school. So him interfering, but
exactly.
I mean, but that doesn't mean that they can't cross paths
Plus,
or something.
the tone of that movie is like very light and sort of like campy, and this is not, and I just don't see how the two would really like mix.
Well, I mean, but consider this has kind of been the rise of the anti-heroes for Marvel. So obviously we have Venom, but we also have Punisher, we also have Deadpool, we also have Jessica Jones, and you have these funny aspects of Marvel that they're trying to explore and that they know is profitable. I mean, Logan was rated R, Deadpool's rated R, obviously. This is probably going to be rated R too.
I hope it's rated R. Please, rated R.
Given how they made him look, I can't imagine it not being rated R, because it definitely wasn't campy, it was gross. Is the word I would use to describe, like, the tongue and everything.
Dude,
like, it was disgusting.
That's how he looks in the comic. He, like, he eats
this
people's brains and stuff.
I guess this is your childhood's Venom.
I know, I'm a sick bastard. Ever since I was a little kid, I always liked really dark and, like, fucked up stuff. I always liked, like, skeletons and, like, dragons and swords and anything that had to do with, like, death or whatever. And then, like, this was my favorite Marvel superhero, like, by far.
Oh, that's great, honey.
Snarling beast of an alien that eats people's brains.
Yeah, that's exactly what it looked like in
my
the trailer.
hero...
I was watching Disney while he was doing that.
Oh, man, this is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely... I mean, it said anti-hero in the clip somewhere, right? So they're definitely delving into that. And I would love to see the Marvel anti-heroes meet up at some point. Like, so yeah, I think that Marvel's really... Well, even though Venom is Sony Pictures and not Marvel, it's still in the Marvel universe. And I think they're enjoying exploring the aspect of anti-heroes, as they've made so much money. So I would love to see, you know, Eddie Brock meet Wade Wilson, meeting Frank Castle, meeting, you know, even I'll throw Jessica Jones in there. She's a drunk, for the most part. Why not? So like the whole anti-hero thing is kind of, you know, that's like their version of DC almost. Like that's the dark end of Marvel. That's the non-fun. That's the non-Tony Stark version of things.
Yeah.
Although Deadpool's is really not dark at all, but you know what I mean. Well, he's rated R, so I guess he's more adult. Whatever.
One final thought that I just realized about Spider-Man / Tom Holland being in this. What they could do is they could have it so that like this whole movie basically doesn't involve Spider-Man, but then like Spider-Man shows up at the end, which sets up a sequel for the conflict between Venom and Spider-Man in like Venom 2 or something. They could really do it either way. I mean, those two stories are kind of flexible like that. They don't need really one another to exist. That could be, or there could be like a cliffhanger at the end of it that sets it up for Carnage, which is the other thing.
Like, who knows? I'm guessing if Spider-Man's rumored to be in it, like, and I know they're not going to kill Spider-Man, so obviously he survives the Infinity War, but that little dude's got to be exhausted by the time Venom rolls around. Like, Jesus, I just got over Thanos, now I got to deal with this shit.
Well, what I'm hoping happens, because, and this would tie in with the whole Life Foundation thing, if there's like other symbiotes, which it looks like from the trailer,
Yeah.
Another
At least
symbiote
2 or 3.
becomes Carnage, who is Venom's worst nightmare and his mortal enemy, and then Spider-Man and him have to team up to take him out. So they go from enemies to becoming friends to take over, like a, take down greater evil.
It will be interesting because, Spider-Man is so closely enwrapped in Tony Stark's story now. That's Tony Stark is like Uncle Ben at this point.
Mm-hmm.
There is no Uncle Ben, it's just Uncle Tony.
Yep.
And I'm wondering, and I know there were rumors of Robert Downey Jr. stepping away from Iron Man, but he's kind of integral to Spider-Man's story, and they are kind of like putting little smatterings of him and Aunt May together. Like, I don't know. So, like, it would be interesting to see if Iron Man plays a part in that as well, because obviously he wouldn't let, Peter go off on his own against something like that.
Yeah, and he wouldn't win, I don't think, or at least not like in Spider-Man's current form. The Tom Holland version is too inexperienced. Anyway, those are just like our random thoughts on this. I'm super excited. I cannot wait for this movie. October 5th.
Child you is crying on the inside.
Oh
I'm sure.
my god. This is just like the nerdgasm of all nerdgasm right now. So stoked.
And he just got his Rick Grimes hatchet today, so it's been a good day.
Yeah, I did. It's been a very nerdy day in general. Anything else?
No, actually, anything else for you?
No, that's about it for me. If we find out any more news about this movie or any updates, we'll do more videos with those soon to come. Otherwise, stay tuned and let's all hope they don't screw this up. Let's just pray they don't screw this up. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like our content, make sure to subscribe right up here in the corner.
Yes, hit subscribe.
Also, go ahead and follow all of our social channels right here down below. Also, check out the blog, thelivingroomshown.com. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.